through our first segment, which is our speed networking. The next segment is going to be wins and biggest challenges. I'm going to bring up Teresa in a minute. But the BOSS system we've been talking about, that three-legged stool, and I really like that model, where it's the DNA of people, the DNA of business, and the DNA of life. Personality mastery, the 530 grid, and the natural laws that tie them all together. Then the next section after that is going to be Q&A, because we're going to cover a lot of information in a short period of time, and then we'll promote what's happening, great things next month, okay? So please welcome Teresa Lecken. Come on up.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. It's great to have you all here. We're going to talk about some wins and challenges. So we just went through some biggest challenges. We want to hear your wins, too. This is starting year 2 of this whole series, and we're excited to see the challenges and everything that's come since. So, as far as wins, I want to start with that. I'm going to share a couple of mine and start thinking. We have some time to hear some of yours, and I definitely want to get some feedback. One thing that has been exciting for me in the last month or so, I live out in Northwest Indiana, so it takes about an hour or so to get here. Not too bad, but a little bit. We do a coffee connections out there, so we get together over coffee, just kind of hang out and mastermind. There is one local here if you wanted to look into that. And I'm just excited to see the growth in that, the interaction and masterminding and working with the people that are there. So Bruce and I, who's normally here, we both lead that up, and so that's a win for me in the last month or so. And a win also, having Alan here, having all of you present, is really exciting. So I want to hear a couple things from out in the crowd. What would your wins be either in the last month, since we last talked to you, or the last year? I mean, if it's your first time.
One of the reasons why I'm able to come out here and spend the time away from my business is because we have a great team in our company, something that we've been struggling to get together for a long time. And finally, our team has come together, and people are doing things that I, as the owner, would have had to do in the past. And so so we have a very strong team that allows me to, I've gained a tremendous amount of free time, time that I can use to do other things. And one of the most important things that has helped me in building that great team, which has allowed me to have the free time, is the understanding and the implementation of personality studies, the personality masteries program. So using that has helped us significantly choose the right people to be on our team, put the right people in the right places on the team, and then facilitate the right kind of communication amongst everybody on the team. And that's a huge win.
That is wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. Go ahead.
I should make a wish foundation. We got $136,000 last year. That's a win. And these kids appreciate it, I'll tell you.
Nice. That's
Just,
great.
when they see a golf ball blow up at 1,000 yards, I mean, I think it's huge. It's like 6 foot circular ball, but it has a explosive center in the fire in the middle, and you hit it right. And the rubber bands just code flames. These kids love it. But if you want to help somebody out, help these kids out. They're fantastic. What they see, what they come up to you and talk to you about, it's unbelievable.
Thank you.
One of my biggest wins in the last couple of months is adding 45 people to my national energy team. But it's learning not to just cuddle them and love them, but to challenge them and really have people be accountable for what they adopted as their business. Do they really see it as a business? And so it's being a little bit stronger in those relationships than just making everybody feel good all the time. So.
How do you go ahead and burst something and then have it run. And so it's neat to see all the people. It's great to see people in front and taking lead, and I can just come as I come and go as I go, and I don't have to worry about any of it running. That is a very, very rewarding experience, and I want to thank you all for that. You guys are amazing. You really are.
Yeah, it's a little win, but I doubled my LinkedIn connections. I finally went past the 500 plus. So from 250 to 500 plus in 2 months, so.
Cool.
That's exciting. So we've got a lot of different wins, which is great. And we want to keep them coming. We want to help each other see them and achieve them. On the biggest challenges side, so whether it was something you're writing down, you wrote down on the sign-in sheet, what you spoke just now, or something new that comes into your head, what is in front of you? What's that wall that is preventing you from taking that next step or going to the next dimension, as we were talking about? And so I guess just visualize whether it's, however big it is, like a challenge wall. What is in front of you that you need to just break through and go on to that next step? And so consider that a little bit. And think about that, and what I want to ask you is, what would it look like if your biggest challenge was solved? What would it feel like to you? And where would that take you? What would you be presented with next, and what is that? And so while you're considering that, I want to share a story from a personal challenge that I've had. Some people have said that I may be a little less, I'm not willing to be vulnerable, so I'm not open or upfront with a lot of people. And so a couple months ago, I had dinner with a friend, and we were just catching up, and she was sharing the story with me, and I felt I had a moment where I could speak truth into her life, and I saw that, I felt that she was stuck on something, and so I just bit the bullet, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you. And I mean, how many of us had said something, and then we're like, oh my gosh, I wish I just took that back. Like, let's reel it back in here. And so that kind of happened to me. The reaction did not come out very well. But I still had a moment to speak truth into her life. So if you could just kind of picture this, okay, we're sitting at a dinner table talking, and I wanted to kind of help her. And so we're sitting there in silence. Okay, what do we do? The awkward moment of that. And as I was sitting there pondering through, I'm like, okay, so I exposed her vulnerability. And she may not have been ready for that, but then I decided, I didn't like plan it, but then I just opened up and I exposed my vulnerability. And I said, look, here's what I'm working on. Here's what I'm struggling with, and was just upfront with her. And so in that, I don't know if you could imagine what may have happened, but that silence, that long silence of what do you do, it opened her back up. She started talking with me. We connected and collaborated on what we're both working on, and it just brought a new level of connection. And then we decided to follow up with each other in about a month or so. We've been friends, we've been talking a lot. So I guess, why do I share that? That's a personal story. It was a breakthrough for me in a way, because I saw that moment of conflict and sitting there in a whole new light, that I saw that connection that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't opened up. And talking about new dimensions and in our business, what can you do to take that step that may be scary or something new to really knock that wall down and keep it going? And I mean, there's a dimensional living call. It's amazing with Alan and Mark. I've heard a lot about it on Tuesday mornings. Great opportunity to expand what you're working on. And I think just as we're going into the segments, Kevin said, or everybody said, you're drinking out of a fire hose. Try to find a few points that you have. Think of your biggest challenge, write it down on that paper that was in front of you, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3 things. And focus on that throughout and figure out what you can do to help overcome that. What steps can you take? And who can you connect with here so that when you come back next month, you know that you're working on it and you have an accountability partner. So with that, I'm going to turn it back.
So you were all handed this sheet as you came in, and this is what Teresa's referring to. And where you can write down your biggest challenge. And so we come back in 30 days. Let's see if there's some wins out of this. Secondly, who are some interesting people I met here that might be able to connect me? And to Teresa's point, if you're going through something, connect with other people, right? Write down these things. Partner with people. This is how it happens, because together, if we work together, truly everyone can achieve more than just trying to do it on their own. And then, who are 3 of the people you want to connect with once a week to keep working on that? Because we all start with great intentions, and a lot of people don't really follow through. This is an opportunity for you to follow through and connect. And I'm really proud of Teresa. I'll tell you why. Because I've asked her to do this a couple times, and this is her first time doing this segment. And the fact that you shared what you shared and how you shared it was so cool. I am so proud of you. The vulnerability that it takes to do that, that's so real. Thank you.